What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Bad Guy Ibra, aka Ibrima, and yes, welcome. It's the aftermath of UFC 262, and Tony Ferguson obviously faced Beneil Dariush as the co-main event of the evening, and the main event was Charles Bronx Oliveira versus Michael Chandler for the undisputed UFC lightweight championship of the world, 155 pounds. Of course, the belt was again vacated by the former lightweight champion Habib Nurmagomedov, who had multiple title defenses before he vacated the belt. And obviously, essentially, I'm here to talk about the co-main events between Tony Ferguson and Beneil Dariush. And as I've mentioned in the previous video, this video right here, that Tony Ferguson, he's essentially the unluckiest person in UFC history. Like this, there had been multiple unlucky people in UFC history. Leon Edwards is one of them. I mean, he has multiple fights, can't still fight for the belt. But Tony Ferguson, after a beautiful performance at UFC 216 against Kevin Lee, it was expected that he was going to officially fight for the title at UFC 223 against Habib Nurmagomedov. But unfortunately, the fight didn't happen. It failed. And the fight obviously also previously failed at UFC 209. And the fight has failed at UFC 247 or 48 or 49, if I'm not mistaken, one of those cards. And since then, he's just racked up losses. He's lost to Charles Oliveira, but before that, he's lost to Justin Gaethje, and he's also lost to now recently against Beneil Dariush, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's just so bad, as he was gonna fight for the title. Injuries and things such as that just ruined it for him, and now his career is on the decline. So I think the best advice for Tony Ferguson is, he's just out of title contention. He really is out of title contention, and I think the best thing for him now is, it's either fighting for money, and who wouldn't want to fight for money, or just I guess retiring. That's the best option, to be honest, because the lightweight division at the moment is very competitive. But my biggest advice for Tony Ferguson at the moment is going up to 170 pounds. And Nick Diaz probably might make a comeback. He might make a comeback. He has mentioned it numerous times, and I think Nick Diaz possibly would make a comeback. His last fight was in 2015, and since then he hasn't fought in the UFC. His last fight, obviously, with Anderson Silva, and he hasn't fought in the UFC since then. But this fight between Tony Ferguson and Nick Diaz, I think that's essentially the fight to make. To be honest, I mean, Nick Diaz, both weird characters, very intricate characters, and they would make a great matchup. To be honest, really great matchup. And congratulations, of course, to Beneil Dariush for a sensational performance. It really was a beautiful performance against Ferguson. It really was. I mean, dominated him for all 3 rounds. Wrestled him down, attempted a submission. In fact, had him in a submission, a leg lock. And Ferguson obviously was in pain, but he didn't tap. And we've also seen Ferguson not tap out against Oliveira, and he got the hell beat out of him against Justin Gaethje, and he still stood, essentially didn't give up. And it just is a testament to his character. So I highly doubt that he's just going to walk away from the sport of mixed martial arts. He's not going to retire. That's not going to happen. But my biggest advice is for him to go up to, for Ferguson to go up to welterweight. And obviously Nick Diaz is a 170 pounder. And if he makes a comeback to the UFC, then that's the bout that we all are looking for to be honest. And UFC is racked up essentially events coming up, like Adesanya Vittori, and we've got Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. But last night we've got a new, and as I've mentioned, we've got a new undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world in Charles Oliveira. A beautiful performance, mate. A beautiful, absolutely sensational performance from Charles Oliveira. Ferguson, in terms of his striking, he trained with Freddie Roach, a high-level striker, well, a high-level technician in boxing, but this is not boxing. This is the octagon, and things work slightly different. Things that would apply in boxing, traditional Western boxing, would not always apply to the UFC, or in a mixed martial arts, excuse me. And, he trained with him, so I don't know what he learned in terms of striking, but he got dominated from rounds 1 to round 3. It was 30-27 on all judges' scorecards, and I would have scored it 30-27 as well. I probably would have gave it 10-8 in one of the rounds in the submission attempt, but Ferguson was very resilient. He defended the submission really well, and showed how tough he is, how tough he was, and yeah.